Max grew up on late-night warnings.
It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?
Scared, straight.
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
And were inspired by movies that defined a generation.
We were all pretty bizarre. Some of us are just better at hiding it, that's all.
Hey, Doc, we better back up. We don't have enough road to get up to 88.
Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads.
I feel the need for speed.
We found our attitude in comedy.
I'm Gumby, damn it.
You see that sign?
No shirt, no shoes,
No dice!
Right. Learn it. Know it. Live it.
And our identity in pop culture.
I want my MTV!
I want my MTV.
I want my MTV!
What are you talking about, Willis?
Keep your feet in the ground and keep reaching for the stars.
This is Gen X Men with Bill Rowland and Gary Dollarhide.
Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
All right, here we go. Another episode. Bill Rowland here, Gary Dollarhide there, and I have my fantastic, amazing following camera. Watch this. Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah, how cool. Yep. So I can't get away with running around and trying to dodge things anymore because the camera will follow me.
It'd be perfect if you could do the show from a ship at sea one day.
just
You
back
just
and forth. I think that'd be really, really bad for the people watching at home if it was just constantly me moving back and forth. But it could be interesting. It could be interesting. Absolutely. Absolutely. So yeah, here we go. Another episode. And I was looking at a whole bunch of different stuff and trying to remember, what it is that makes the end of summer, because we're there. I mean, here we are
there.
And the funny thing is, I was looking at it as well. We're closing in on a year of doing this show. It's all, I mean, I think this is episode 46, and we had a best of week when we were both having to do vacation stuff or whatever. So we're closing in on that 1 year. Do you remember what our first episode, what was the one of the things we talked about?
I guess it was close to the end of the summer, right? Is when.
Well, it was kind of, we talked.
Refresh me.
Charlie Sheen documentary.
Oh,
that was one of the main things we talked about, was the Charlie Sheen doc and some other ones, which reminded me, have you seen the latest documentary that's coming out on Netflix that's going to be horrific? And it's going to be, if anything, it'll just be a hate watch, only because I can't believe they're actually doing it. Have you seen?
Do tell.
Okay. Think back a couple years ago at the Olympics.
Yeah.
What was the one thing that everybody was like, I can't believe this person is actually in the Olympics? Are you forgetting?
I am.
It's okay. That's good, because they don't deserve to be remembered.
Okay.
Do you remember the Australian breakdancer Raygun?
Yes. Yes. Okay. Now
Raygun is getting the Netflix treatment.
Oh, nice.
Nice? This is ridiculous.
No, because
she's such a fraud.
Well, that's what I want to find. So I look at it this way. Once you tell me, I remember. And I go, yeah, I kind of remember that. Interesting. But tell me more if there's something I need to know.
I don't think there's
I remember it was based on fraud, because she ended up getting the head of the federation for, there was all these little things she did to kind of wiggle in
I guess
to be
it was
the person
either
on the team.
Yeah, from either, and again, because I paid little attention.
Other than a laugh for a few minutes. Yeah,
other than what is this? This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Why she's just an embarrassment. But from the doc, and I can't remember if it was her boyfriend or her husband, because frankly, it doesn't matter. But her boyfriend or husband, one of them was on the committee that was selecting the folks to go to the Olympics. So there was that. I mean, there was all this stuff that was she shouldn't have been there. She didn't deserve it. And yes, in the documentary, and again, the little 30-second to 60-second trailer, whatever it is, and she talks about, everybody was making fun of me. And I'm like, yeah, and you deserved it. Like, I don't know what's the, like, she was like, I wasn't expecting. What did you expect? That you were going to go to the Olympics and everybody was going to go, oh, it's so stunning and brave for her to do it. No, it was ridiculous. You hopped around on stage like a kangaroo and you look like a fool. You deserve to get made fun of. That was it.
Well, she didn't expect it because of the modern times we live in. You're supposed to champion certain people, just outlandish things that don't make sense. We're supposed to champion it because, like you said, it's brave, it's this and that.
Stunning and brave. Yeah.
Stunning and brave. Yeah. No, but that's what I remember because I thought it, like you said, it was either her or him. They were on the, this federation. For those that don't know, there's federations, governing bodies of different disciplines,
right?
Who kind of make these decisions on, who is. You have the U.S. Olympic team, but then you have guiding federations for each sport who kind of run that little.
Again, she's Australian, so don't put it on the U.S. Olympic.
No. But obviously, let's realize that in the Australian Olympic Committee, breakdancing's way over here in this small, and there probably wasn't more than 2 people lining up to go, I'll represent. And of course, boyfriend, her, whatever said, well, someone's got to go. Might as well be me. And that's how she ended up there,
I guess. But I mean, are you?
But I want to see the rest of it now.
You do?
I do. It's like
in this?
It's a train wreck. It's the train, especially if she's on there bawling her eyes out. No one's nice to me. I just got to see this. I
didn't see the bawling the eyes out, but they did have a couple of clips of her being like, I didn't expect the vitriol that was going to be. And I'm like, what? How did you not expect this? Like, I don't understand. Like, again, maybe I'll hate watch it.
Yes.
Just for our show. Cause I will, I'll go into it being like, I hate this person. That's exactly how I'll go into it. I'll be like, I don't know why you have a Netflix special. There are so many other things that are definitely that I'd be way more interested in hearing about personal stories than Raygun, the Australian B-girl from the 2024 Olympics.
I will watch it. Not so much hate as you. It's, to me, it's like being Cooper flag aside, Mr. Maine basketball, right? It's,
okay.
There's like 30 people that play the sport in the state. So
that's not true. But
if you score 10 points, you're Mr. Maine. But what does that get you when you go up against real competition in other places? So,
I mean, okay, I see the analogy there of, of saying that basketball is better played in other parts of the United States. I understand that. But I just can't wrap my head around, like, who, I mean, we talked about it, last week or a couple weeks ago, whenever it was, about the toys. And you made the whole statement of, there is a bunch of people in a corporate office sitting around saying that Bloonies, the little toxic thing that you put on the end of the straw, and you went, somebody in the boardroom thought that was a good idea. Yes. Somebody in Netflix went, you know what people are clamoring for? They want the backstory and whatever happened to Raygun. That's gold. I think they're misjudging the audience on this. I think it'll do well because people are going to be like, what in the world? What could we possibly want to know about this person?
It's the strangeness. Do well. Like, what was it? Tiger King?
Show.
It's the freak show. Tiger King, same thing. Like, give us a weird story that's just like, what? And Netflix will do it, right?
Well, the guys who did Tiger King.
Okay.
They also did, what was the other one? Chimp something. I forget what the other one was. They now have a new one where they're investigating the underbelly, the underworld of reptiles.
There we go.
Apparently, and I only know this because I heard them on Rogan. Apparently, there's like a big, and I shouldn't be surprised, but there's a big, giant underground, like, smuggling black market of, like, rare reptiles. Like, they were saying certain turtles that we played with growing up, like box turtles. Seriously, like the Eastern painted box turtle, whatever the hell it's called, that we had, you saw in your backyard all the time. I guess that would be a tortoise, not a turtle, but whatever. Goes for like 20 grand if you can get it. If you can get it to China.
Oh, because they eat them.
Well, not yet. Not only that, it's just because they don't have them there.
Yeah.
And so they're exotic. I don't know. I was listening to these guys and they dropped it like an Eastern turtle. And they're just like, it's just a common turtle that's here. Is like 20 grand on the black market in China. I didn't understand it. I understood they talked about bringing kimono dragons over and everything else. And that's how some of these things end up in zoos. Because they get smuggled, they get caught, and they don't know what to do with them. I mean, if you're a customs guy, you go, what are we supposed to do with this bearded dragon? Give it to the zoo. That's how some zoos ended up with them.
Well,
they
I can tell you
them in
what
young
I would do, because
kill them.
Reptiles and everything rank on my list of do we need to care about this?
Well, right. I'm with you.
Especially the Komodo dragon. You ever seen that thing eat like a whole goat?
Oh,
in
it's
one
gross.
Bite?
Yeah,
it does not need to be anywhere near people.
But I'd much rather watch that documentary, and I probably will, than watching Raygun. Like, I'm much more interested in trying to figure out these people that are keeping snakes and turtles and dragons and all these other things underground than I care about the Australian professor or whatever she is that weaseled her way into being an Olympian.
As soon as you mentioned it, I was intrigued. I'm like, I need to know the story now, because I knew a little bit and paid so little attention and just laughed it off at the time. Now it's like, oh, it's kind of like, MTV's behind the music. So now Netflix is behind the Olympics.
I mean, I guess would this be like the equivalent of MTV doing behind the music for, I don't know, think of a really bad band that was on MTV. Maybe, although they had a story because that was a whole thing. So, I mean, I kind of get that.
She has a story too, Bill.
Not like this. Milli Vanilli won a Grammy. If she had won gold, there's a story there. She didn't win gold. She got laughed off the stage at the Olympics. Like, even I can remember during the competition, it was even the announcers were like, I'm not sure what that move is. And they're like, well, she's representing her native Australia while she's hopping around on the stage like a fool.
But I don't know how they could, them specifically, but how many times have we seen countries send someone for their Olympic sport that obviously they have no business doing? And we all, it's like that one swimmer where it was over and 4 minutes later, he's still swimming and they don't know what to do.
The one guy who almost drowned?
Yes. I mean, that's
okay.
Right?
Here's the thing.
He needs a story too.
You can't tell me in the entirety of Australia there isn't another female breakdancer better than her. Because the swimming guy might be the fastest guy in his country because nobody else swims.
Right.
Australia is a very large population and it's got some diversity. And I'm sure they have rap groups there. I don't know any Australian rap group off the top of my head. I guarantee you they exist.
We need to research that.
I should, but I can't believe
rapping with
the rapping kangaroo. I can't believe she's the only breakdancer in Australia, only female breakdancer. It's just not possible.
Well, Bill, there's also, tryouts are voluntary. There could be better.
Okay, fair.
But they said, we're not doing this. I don't know.
Guess.
That's why I have to see the show now to understand. I need the context. I need the reference, the full story of how she got there, because I'll be interested to see if, as you said, there was 20 other applicants, but nope, we decided they weren't good enough.
I can't believe nobody else tried out for this thing. So I just don't believe it. And I'm looking right now for Australian hip hop folks, and I mean,
the blokes.
They've had some, but I'm not seeing anybody that I recognize. And that's not saying anything to them. I mean, that's just reality. I mean, it'd be the same thing for like German hip hop. Why would I know German hip hop? You know? So yeah, I mean, so it can't be just that there is no hip hop culture in Australia, because that would be incorrect. But I can't believe that she's the only one. So
when's this thing supposed to be out?
I don't remember.
Do a full review on it.
I think it comes out in September.
Okay.
Hold on, let me look. God, I don't want to know about this.
I'll watch it. You don't have to. I'll lay out the story.
Let's see. Raygun on Netflix.
Raygun
is coming September 1st. It's called. Here's the official title, so we can all gag at the same time. Untold Raygun. Breaking Badly.
Breaking Badly. Oh wow, they really. I like the title Untold though. See that
yes, Untold Raygun.
Another untold episode from Netflix.
Yes. I mean, even and now as I'm reading this, I'm remembering now going back to the trailer that I saw.
Mm-hmm.
Even her parents, like they're talking to her parents, and the producer interview, whoever it is, goes, "So did you ever think Rachel in the Olympics would be a thing?" And her dad goes, and he just leans back in his chair like, "That's the dumbest question I've ever heard in my life." And the mom just goes, "No, never." And it's just like, they're right. You're right. She shouldn't have had anything to do with the Olympics. They're 100% correct.
It's like Eddie the Eagle.
Again, I think Eddie the Eagle actually won fair and square his nation's trials to go to the Olympics.
Okay.
I don't
not
know
saying he didn't.
I'm not saying that she won this fair and square. I don't know that happened here. I think there was a lot of shenanigans that went on. I'm calling shenanigans.
Well, it'll be. I find it interesting because if she's in it, and if she knew there were shenanigans, she knew it would not be the greatest story to be told, to be a part of, because
I guess,
or I don't know. I guess everyone wants their 15 seconds of fame. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
Raygun.
It says there's a broader context within the show, including later controversies like legal disputes over her name, Raygun, I guess, and kangaroo pose. Oh boy. Can't wait to see who's pissed off about her hopping around like a kangaroo. That's got to be something.
That's mine. No, someone's claiming it.
That's so weird. But again, so I thought about that when I realized we were coming up on a year, and our initial episode was the Charlie Sheen documentary, which was amazing.
Yes.
As opposed to what just a year later, what Netflix is doing now and featuring Raygun.
I think it's going to be funny fun.
Breaking Badly.
Breaking Badly is the part.
Just terrible.
I'm all set for the full review on that.
I'm sure you are. I can't. I can't. I mean, it's just bad. Anyway, so that's out of the way. I just wanted to bring that up. So good luck to everybody coming September 1st. Look forward to, let's see. That would mean our show. I'm looking at the calendar. Oh, so figure right around September 3rd. That's a Thursday. We usually record on Thursdays. So you can look forward to it in 3 weeks. Gary will have his official review of Raygun Breaking Badly. The untold story of a kangaroo hip hopper. I don't know. All right. Well, it is coming up on September, which means the summer is basically over now. My fiance is back to work. She, of course, is a librarian at a local high school here. And students aren't back. They don't come back till next week. But she has this entire week where she has to go in and do whatever it is that they do to prepare for the students. But it got me thinking about all the things that you knew summer was coming to an end when, as I put there in my little underneath, You can point to it, right? I don't know. I can't do this with the camera. Right there where it says get your number 2 pencils. Yeah, the camera will move if I try to do it, I think. Yep, see, it's not going to let me do it. Right there.
There.
Get your number. Yes, he won't do it. Anyway, and I do have a number 2 pencil in my hand, as a matter of fact. You can see it right there. It's a USA Gold number 2 pencil.
Have you ever come across a number 1, number 4, 5, 6?
I have not. I don't know if they exist, or I'm sure they do. And I'm sure it probably has to do with the type of lead or the size. I don't know.
I feel like we should have had a golf caddy, right? Think about it. Oh, pull out your number 2 for this test. Oh, we're just taking notes today. Let's pull out the number 4.
Pull it out.
Right? Just pull it out.
Let's go. Yeah, that would have been good. I could have just been like, this is going to be a hard math test. Give me the driver. And then you pull out the larger pencil.
5 with the rubber eraser.
That's see, it's got the eraser tip.
Yep.
So yeah, that was when you were doing school supplies, like when you went to go shop for stuff. Were you like, did you get the individual erasers? Did your parents let you buy those? Or did you just go, you know what? The pencil's got the eraser. You don't need anything extra. That's what
my father would say, don't make big mistakes and you won't need the big eraser.
There you go. That's your dad's a smart guy. Nothing wrong with that.
No, I mean, real quick as an adult, talk about the end of summer. I mean, we woke up this morning, it's 54 degrees.
Holy cow. Yeah, it was in the 70s here when we woke up, so that's not too bad, but yeah.
What I've noticed living here in Maine the past few years is when summer starts to fade, it goes fast. So that's why waking up is like, oh, we are coming down to the wire here, and that's completely separate from all the other things we're going to talk about. But yeah, that was the first thing I noticed this morning. I was like, oh, we're going to have to turn on the electric fireplace and knock the chill off.
Yeah, well, I mean, 54, I mean, look, up there in Maine, in central Maine, you could get frost within a month.
Oh, yeah.
It's not impossible for you guys to get frost in September.
Nope.
So, yeah, it's for you, it's coming. We'll still have 90-degree days in September. At one point,
yes.
we'll get a day that'll touch the 90s down here. And then in October, usually it's one of two things. Usually by Halloween, the kids are either out trick-or-treating in their winter jackets because it's like 40 degrees outside, or they'll be running around in shorts because it's still 65 degrees. You just don't know. Up there, very few. I can't imagine there's been a year up there in central Maine where the kids are trick-or-treating and running around in shorts and a football jersey as their costume because it's so warm outside.
Yeah, no, it's usually by about October 1st. That's the real switch turn where it's fall. Fall is here. Get your jackets out. Get your your boots, whatever it is, because that's when it is turned. There's none of that late summer glory. You'll get some in September, but like I said, by the 1st of October, nope, you are done. Sweatshirt season.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, good for you. It's coming. Because again, mid-August, so you guys are counting down the last days. There's no doubt about it. Yeah. It's on its way. So,
but what caught me the other day, I mean, my youngest is 21, so we haven't done the school thing in a while. But it kind of hit me the other day when I was in Walmart, like the aisles and aisles of school supplies. And I was just like, really? For me, it's like, oh, it is that time, isn't it? That was always the big, I guess, transition growing up for the signs of the end of summer when mom was like, hey, we got to go get your school stuff, right? That was almost, wouldn't call it a national holiday, but you knew, like, when you heard that statement, it was like, oh, yeah, okay.
See, we both grew up in Virginia. So our end of summer was, at least when we were in school, was a little different than a lot of other people's because you knew the official end of summer, which is what everybody says anyway, was you went back to school the Tuesday after Labor Day.
After Labor Day, yep.
Not anymore. They've killed that. It used to be the King's Dominion.
I was just going to say that because when you said the kids start next week for your fiance, I was like, I thought Virginia still had the old King's Dominion rule of nope. Kids got to stay out to work the fairs and King's Dominion until after Labor Day. So that's gone, huh?
That's gone. I mean, even Fairfax County, who was a holdout for a long time, I don't know if they go back next week or the following week, but they go back. Everybody's back now before Labor Day. Like it's a whole thing, which I don't know if I like it or not. Like give them August. Go back. That Tuesday after Labor Day is fine. Everybody goes, oh, but then they're in school all the way into June. They're not doing anything in those couple of weeks in June anyway. They're not doing a thing. So
we were always out by Memorial Day.
And down where you were?
Yes.
No, it was always June in Fairfax.
We would start after, like that Tuesday after Labor Day.
Yeah.
And we were either out the Friday before Memorial Day, or it was just the week after. That was it.
Are you sure?
I'm dead sure of that.
Did they make you go on Christmas or something? How did you guys not have to go all the way into June? Because you had the same state law we did, 180 days.
Maybe we just had less breaks. I don't know.
Maybe.
But I remember it was always because just as Labor Day was the mark of
the beginning,
right. Memorial Day for us, and I remember this through high school because I remember because of a girlfriend thing. Memorial Day was your, take care. We're out of here. Have a nice day. Yeah.
No,
so I don't know if we had less breaks somewhere, less teacher work.
Maybe you guys didn't do the teacher work days because we would get at the end of every quarter, we'd get 2 days.
Okay. What'd you do at Christmas? Like we would, I
It's
remember we almost,
now.
Okay. Because we almost went, I mean, it was always close depending on how it fell in the week.
Yeah.
Like if it's Christmas was Friday,
you go Wednesday. You'd have off Thursday.
Wednesday. Yeah, it was tight.
It's usually till the 23rd.
And then you were back in right after New Year's Day.
The second. The first day after you didn't go the first, even if the first was a Monday, but you'd be back the second.
Okay.
Whatever it was on a Tuesday.
Only 1 week of spring break.
1 week for spring break. That's it.
Then I don't know how we did it, but we were in a rural school who maybe didn't want to follow the rules.
Maybe because I know we were in school. When I graduated high school, it was in June. I know for a fact it was in June. So that's kind of weird. But
well, I always thought it was weird with my son in school up here. They were going, depending on snow days, at least till June 14th, 15th, and sometimes longer if they had. And I'm just going, my God, you guys have lost your summer, because I know for a fact we were usually out either that Friday before Memorial Day or that week after.
Well, I'm all for them not going back till after Labor Day. I think that's fine. I think that's a perfect way for them to be like, okay, summer's done. But now you're going back. I mean, it's going to be I guess it'll be the 17th when they start school. Like, I can't imagine having to start school on August 17th. I would have been miserable.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I just, from a working perspective as an older school student, I remember I didn't play, but my high school football, I mean, they started fall practice in August.
Oh, they're the fall sports are in right now.
Okay.
They've already started. They're already practicing. They're already doing all that stuff.
Yeah. So I don't, trying to fill in all the other, because that would essentially leave you with what? Half a week or two of June, a full July,
and then you're back to
half of August, and then you're back to it. So only really 2 months off.
Probably not even a full 2 months. If you're playing sports, you're probably back at August doing stuff. So yeah. It's everybody wants to go to full year-round school and all that. I'm like, let them be kids. Let them be kids.
My thing is always, you can do full year-round school. You just gotta have it. Is it mid-December through mid-January, a 1 month break? You're just changing where the breaks are,
right? Even
though you're still getting in all the instruction. Because I know in Maine it'd be beneficial to take February off, because then you're avoiding snow issues.
Sure.
Right? We're closed through February. Have a nice day.
Good luck.
And just have a shorter summer. Yeah.
Right. No, I mean, you have to change the entire thing would have to be changed. College, everything, if you're going to go full year. I think would it make sense then to start stuff in January, and you would just go January until December, and that's when you have the break, and because it's the holidays, so you get that 3-4 weeks off, maybe mid-December to mid-January, and then when you come back in January, now you're in second grade. Like if you started first grade in the middle of January, I don't know. I don't know if you'd have to. I don't know how you change all that around because.
Well, I was going to say, I would not be the first one says the education system needs to be overhauled. If it starts with dates, it starts with dates. And
you're not wrong.
College will have to adapt, but from things I see and hear, I don't know how much education's really happening at the college level.
Well,
so.
that's fair as well. You're definitely not wrong. So, yeah, I mean, I haven't been to one of the stores yet to see all the stuff, but I'm sure they're still selling the same stuff that they've been hawking for years, I would imagine. I mean, do they still need all the different notebooks and all that kind of stuff? What's out there?
Oh, you've got your whole choice. Let's start with the most obvious. I'll tell you what they're not selling, at least I haven't seen it up here, are the good old metal lunch boxes, Bill.
Well, they've gone plastic.
They went plastic.
They went plastic.
And soft-sided bags are kind of the thing now.
You know why?
So,
you know why? If you had a metal lunchbox, it's a
it's
weapon.
a weapon.
It's a weapon. Everybody
I won't say it, but it's true. That was your last line of defense.
Everybody knows that. Yeah. Metal lunchbox with a plastic thermos inside.
Mm-hmm.
Weapon.
That handle had 4 ounces of fluid available in it.
Right.
You dehydrate at school at lunch.
Right. Exactly. It really, maybe it carried 6. Maybe. I don't even know if it was that much. But yeah, you had the handle that was plastic.
Mm-hmm.
And you could hold that thing and you could whip it and you could do some damage with those metal lunch boxes.
Wow. I was going to say, remember my school is K through 7.
Right.
So you could be a 5-year-old in kindergarten on the bus with a 12, 13-year-old. So yeah, you needed that weapon at certain times to maintain the status quo.
Case. Right. So you weren't getting destroyed.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean that was always fun to pick out the lunchbox. I think I had the same lunchbox for like 2 or 3 straight years though. Like it was just it was just kind of like there's nothing wrong with that one. Why would you need a new one? Like it still latches, it still closes. There's paint chipping off of it or whatever. It was probably lead paint, but I mean,
can we sue Igloo since they were the big lunchbox?
Yep. I think I had a Spider-Man lunchbox is what I had for like 3 years when I was in elementary school.
Well, other than that 3 years, did you ever? It was time to go pick out your lunchbox, and you had to pick the TV show or the character, the theme, and go, what's going to be cool for this year?
Well, right. And you're taking a big chance because something that might have been cool in September by April, it could have been like, oh, you still watch that stuff, or you could have outgrown the show or whatever it was. So yeah, no, I think my Spider-Man lunchbox was like 1st, 2nd, and 3rd grade. And I don't remember after that, to be honest with you. I don't remember.
An Empire Strikes Back.
Okay.
I know I had because we were going to talk about this, a Dukes of Hazzard at one point.
Uh-huh.
I think I had an emergency one, but those are the only ones I can remember.
Yeah, see, I know after elementary school, I didn't have a lunchbox in 7th and 8th grade. Usually you either bought your lunch every day or literally, because you had a locker at that point, you just had a brown paper bag and
brought from home.
You wrote your name on it and stuffed it in your locker. Why you wrote your name on it, I don't know, because unless you were sharing the locker with somebody else, who else's lunch was going to be in your locker? But
Bill, if you happen to drop that bag in a hallway and oh my God, it's lost, and
I guess
Good Samaritan comes by and go, hey, that says Bill. That must be a Bill, at your school where there was probably multiple.
1,000 of them, yeah.
That's one of the Bills. Let's take that to the office, to the lost and found. That's how you get.
I guess.
It's like your mom writing your initials on your clothes labels. Like, how am I going to lose this shirt?
See, I never had that either. I don't remember my mom ever writing that on the, inside collar or anything. No.
Even a jacket?
No.
Oh,
I don't recall that being written on any of my clothes. Even on like the big heavy winter jackets, like on the inside that had, you could write your name and address and everything. They had a whole label on someone. And I never understood that. I'm like, who's going to send this back to me if I leave it somewhere? Like, this is not going to get mailed to me. What are we doing? So Yeah, I don't remember other than the Spider-Man one that I got again, first grade.
Yep.
I don't remember, like 4th, 5th, and 6th. I mean, I know I brought lunch most of the days of the week. The only time that I didn't was Fridays was pizza day.
Mm-hmm.
So I would always get pizza on Fridays. I would just eat lunch at school or buy lunch at school. Other than that, maybe occasionally on a Monday when it was burger day or something, but otherwise the cafeteria food was not good in Fairfax County when I was
about to tell you the reason I took my lunch almost every day for those 7 years, K through 7, is because the food was absolutely horrible.
Yes, agreed.
And it didn't taste good. I remember the big thing, kind of funny. Once or twice, I remember getting pizza on pizza day.
Yeah.
And I guess it was loaded with so much garlic when I got home. My
Oh,
mother's like,
really?
Oh, no. You're not eating that again. Because it was just oozing through my pores.
Yeah, I don't remember it being garlicky, but maybe I don't recall that part of it. I mean, it was just bad pizza. I mean,
yeah,
if there is such a thing as bad pizza, that it would
qualify.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't great, but I mean, you're just like, oh, it's pizza. You're a kid. You're just like, I'm gonna get pizza.
Yeah.
So
now high school for me was good. Like it was actually there's steakums and all sorts of other options, but elementary was distinctly horrible.
Yeah, I can remember one of my favorite packed lunches would be if we had gone to like Roy Rogers or Popeyes. I don't think Popeyes was up here back then anyway. Or if my mom had just made it, you would get the leftover fried chicken. And even though it was cold, because it had been in the refrigerator and then wrapped in foil to put in your metal lunchbox, it was still delicious to have at lunch the next day.
Yeah.
To have the fried chicken. It was awesome. That was my favorite, bringing lunch from home. Like, oh, I leftover fried chicken. This is great.
95% of my lunches were plain peanut butter sandwiches and Utz potato chips. And that was
there you go. All right.
For 8 years, that was pretty much it. So not a lot of wonderful palate choices that I had growing up, but hey.
I mean, if you ate it, you ate it. I mean, that's fine. I mean, the peanut butter's got the protein and everything else. So
yeah.
I don't know.
But you can't take that anymore. No.
Why?
Because of the peanut allergy that exists through the
I'm
kids
sorry.
Today.
I would find it hard to believe they're going to tell you that you can't have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich at school.
Well, they caution it because there's so many peanut allergies.
Yeah,
so
you know what
sun butter, which is from sunflower seeds.
You know what I would say? Sunflower seeds are delicious. I have an entire bag of them right here. I eat them all the time. Yes.
I don't mind sun butter.
I don't mind sunflower seeds. I'm sorry if my kid wants peanut butter and jelly, I'm sending it to him, and the kid who's got the peanut allergy is responsible for his own safety.
He should just wear a plastic bag over his head. That's what I say.
I mean, something. I don't know about that. A plastic bag might be extreme, but I mean, it's no different than the kid who's got an allergy to bees, knowing that when you go outside to recess, don't go play in the clover. Well, why not? Because there are bees there. So if you're hanging out and your buddy has a peanut allergy, you'd be like, hey, man, I'm going to have my delicious peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Perhaps you might want to slide down a couple of seats.
Right?
I mean,
you should go way over there and sit and have your lunch.
Go sit with the people with the bologna sandwich. You're not allergic to that. Go sit over there. I don't know. I would just, again, I don't know how, because that wasn't really a thing for us growing up.
No,
there weren't all these allergies and all the other stuff. And, kids weren't on the spectrum. They were just weird.
Exactly. Right.
But I mean, I get that so it's easier to help those kids that, again, when I was growing up, we had SPED kids, special education kids. I mean, we had kids that had cerebral palsy and other things within school, and they would come in and sit in the class during certain lessons, and then they would go and be taught or taken care of elsewhere. I mean, I remember all of that, but there wasn't this thing like Carrie's telling me about. There are kids in her school that, and I don't know their diagnosis. I don't want to call it a certain thing and be completely wrong on it, but like they're the kids that wear headphones, like ear covers, like
sensitive to sound.
Yeah, I'm looking for my one here.
Yeah,
I can't find them. I don't know what I did with them. But yeah, the big over the ear headphones. Hold on 1 second. Maybe they're back. Nope. I don't know where they are. Sorry. I don't know where they are.
Okay.
But yeah, you have let me get my camera back adjusted here. Sorry about that. They wear these big giant headphones in school. And like if we had done that in high school, they would have snatched those things off your head and said no. Yeah, they would have been like no headphones in school. I can remember that was a thing. Like you weren't allowed. Like if you were walking through the hall and you had your Walkman and you had those, remember those foam headphones that went over?
Little tiny.
Yeah, little tiny. If you had those on,
no.
They would just pull them right off your head and be like, hey, no headphones in the hall. Take them off. All right.
There'd have been no phones either if they had existed back then.
Oh, no. Yeah, exactly.
We're not having this. I'll tell you that.
No, we wouldn't have had phones. But yeah, no headphones on. You couldn't carry your Walkman around, all that stuff. They're like, nope. Once that first bell hit. Now, before school, if you were hanging out at your locker, they don't care. As soon as that first bell rang for the first class of the day, no more headphones.
We're here to learn and get educated. So sit down and be ready.
That's right. You could not wear the headphones. But now the kids are allowed to just wander around with the headphones on. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Well, you should ask Carrie about this because there is a school here in Maine that has a litter box for the students.
That's not true. That's not true. That's an urban legend. That's been told everywhere. That is hysterically funny that people are still throwing that around out there. But no, that's clearly not true. That would not be allowed.
Oh, but it could be.
But it's funny it's funny that it even got to that point that it could even be suggested that was a possibility. So, but did you have a big giant trapper keeper? That was the other thing.
That was where I was going to go next because I wanted to make the sound as you open it up.
Well, that was the other thing that you could get with like the different TV shows and stuff on. Didn't they have that on Trapper Keeper as well?
Yes, you could get the themed ones. I usually stayed with the just pick a color, blue, green, stay in that zone. I will say there was, even though it was the sign of end of the summer, there was an enjoyment of getting all this stuff from the lunchbox and the Trapper Keeper in your older and clothes. Like there was this excitement that, oh, we're going to get some new stuff. And I remember the Trapper Keeper. We're going to have dividers with the little tabs that are colored so we could slide labels in there because we're going to be organized, Bill. We're going to be organized this year. And it may have lasted 2 weeks. Next, we're just shoving papers in and half writing notes, and it just gets out of control.
Yeah.
But the Trapper Keeper, what a classic that is. I don't even know if there's a modern one. I didn't even look. I just saw a line of notebooks and just said, well, I can't. I'm not.
No, I'm sure, and I don't know if it's still called Trapper Keeper, but I'm sure there are notebooks and folders around. That's right.
Yes.
I just don't know how much they get used because now there's this whole thing, this wave, and I wish this had been around when I was in school. My GPA would have been a lot higher. There's this wave of don't give kids homework. They've already gone to school for the 8 hours that day or however long it is. They don't need to have homework on top of it. I would have been thrilled had that been the thing, especially when I was in junior high and high school, because that's when I started going, you know what? This is just busy work.
Yes.
This is just, I know this stuff. I'll do fine on the test. I'm not going to do this worksheet. So I wouldn't. So the teachers would then get mad at me. And then I remember I had a teacher in high school that literally accused me of cheating on the test because I hadn't done, like, say we got 8 take-home worksheets to do on the chapter that we were working on, whatever. I probably didn't do 6 of them. So she probably figured he's not learning anything. And then the test would come, I'd get like a 95. And I'd be like, yeah, I know all this stuff. I don't have to do the worksheet of fill in the blank or, you know what, I know this. And I get accused of cheating. I'm like, look, you can give me any test you want on this chapter. I guarantee you, I know this stuff cold. I'll sit here, whatever you want, done, taken care of. I used to piss teachers off so much because I would never do the busy work and then just ace the test when I would get it.
Yeah.
So I would love it if we didn't have it.
Well, I remember early on there was a lot of homework, and I even remember my mother going, "This is a lot of work." Like outside of school, you know, it'd be one thing to fill out this worksheet, a little supplemental, but there was I remember because I used to hate it in spelling. Yes, an actual course spelling. You know, there was so many vocabulary words for the week, and it'd be tonight, go home of the 20 words and write 20 sentences. Which, you know, third, fourth grade seemed like a lot. But then it wasn't just that. It was you have to do this for the 20 words the next night and do this for the 20 words. It was just add that to regular English, social. It just, there was always stuff at home. And looking back as an adult now, I'm like, well, we're paying you to teach. Why are we sending stuff home?
Right. And that's kind of what everybody is saying. It's like, oh, kids. Now, I don't go with the, kids are so much more stressed out than when you were younger. I'm like, well, yeah, they're stressed out because you're letting them spend 8 hours a day on their phones or tablets or anything else. And that's just a dopamine hit after dopamine hit. Take it out of their hands and they won't have the stress. That's what they're stressed about. It's not about necessarily the grades. They're stressed about looking at their phone or their tablet or anything else that's going on there.
Yeah. Well, and when my son, again, look at the category, they had Chromebooks.
Yeah.
They took all their tests on Chromebooks. They didn't handwrite much.
Right.
Like to this day, and I make a joke sometimes when my son signs his name, because they at least taught him that in cursive. But if you see him write anything like notes to his grandparents in the card or something, I'm like, you know, excuse the expression, I was like, you look like you're retarded. Just the way the letters come out, and it's just like, you know, what are you, a kindergartner? What is this? They don't know how to handwrite. That was just, and I get the change. We're computer based and everything else, but I just kind of look at it and shake my head. And I've seen it from other coworkers who write things at work and go, oh, you guys, okay. Now I write like crap now. Why? Because again, I don't use it and muscle. It's not as pretty unless I stop, slow down. And I've had people go, "Oh, your handwriting looks so nice." I was like, well, it was a big subject back in the day. I don't know why it isn't anymore. Even if all this computer stuff. Just the change in what they're doing with the kids and how they're spending their time at school. They all need trapper keepers.
They should.
They should.
I think it should be a requirement. Now, how did you find out about your teachers? How did you find out who you were going to have as a teacher the next year?
A letter would come in the mail with the assignment.
Yep.
And parents would open up, and then it was the rush and game. No, because it would have the other students' names on it. So you'd figure out who your co-students were. I remember that now.
Oh, I see. But we didn't have that. You'd have to start calling around to find out who else had that teacher. So.
There may have been the first couple of years, it was just you're assigned Ms. Washington. Okay. And then we'd find out. But I remember later on, you'd get the list because your parents would read it first. And then you're like, give me that. Okay. Oh, he's in there. Oh, she's in there. Oh, that's, you know, you'd mentally critique the list of how it got divided up. But that was more like 4th, 5th, 6th through there is what I remember. But you get the letter.
You get the letter in the mail. And then I think I want to say maybe 5th or 6th grade, they actually would just post it at the school.
Oh.
So you could go by the school, and that's how you saw who all was in what class. If you got the letter, it just said, you know, you've been assigned this teacher, your bus is this number, and here's the stops. I never had to worry about that because the bus stop was literally at the end of our driveway. It was like that was where it was. But from there, if you wanted to know, you either call around or, again, I think they started posting it like when I was in 5th or 6th grade, you could go up and it would just be, I mean, they'd never do this today. It would just be posted, like taped in the lobby
Window.
of the school. Well, no, not on the window, but you would go in the lobby and it would just be pasted on the wall, and it would like 6th grade, and then there'd be the 6th grade classes, 5th grade. So you could, if you wanted to, you could find out who everybody in the school had for a teacher. Which again, they'd never do that today. They'd never put out that public information of, oh, look, little Sally is in Miss Jones's class for the 2nd grade. They wouldn't do it. You probably get yelled at a lot for that. So
yeah. Well, we only had, I mean, from anywhere from 75. I graduated with 94. There's only ever 100 kids. You can only move them around so much to
fair
make a difference.
That's definitely fair. That is definitely fair. So you had lunch boxes, you had trapper keepers. Now, one of the things, I mean, and some of those lunch boxes are worth a ton now.
Yes.
I don't have any of mine left, but I imagine if you could find, I don't know, an old Star Wars one with the thermos, because that's key, it's probably a couple $100.
Yeah. Well, my dad loved to keep the lunch boxes because they'd end up in the shop, full of nuts, bolts, and miscellaneous.
Absolutely,
he loved those things probably more than I did. It was almost like, here, Dad, this one's done. Ooh, what are we going to put in this one? So I remember later years seeing a few of them still floating around, inside his workshop. But
they're all beat up and everything now.
Of course, they rusted pretty well.
Yeah,
I remember a few of them because something would leak or whatever, and getting toward the end, they'd be, the hinges would rust. That's what I remember the most.
Right.
And God forbid if the little plastic snap lock, right? It was like a pressure fit. That thing snapped out. You just have to tape it up till either they went to buy you the new lunchbox or just told you to suffer with the duct tape.
Yeah, exactly. You have to tape it up or get was it that? I'm trying to think, the wire where you would just have to twist it. Did you have that like a twist tie, except there's a little bit more hefty than a twist tie. You'd have to do that to keep it done. All right, so here you go. The most expensive metal lunch boxes.
Yeah.
None of them are any ones we would have had.
Charlie's Angels.
No. 1965, the Beatles, $1,900. 1966, the Beatles thermos in with the lunchbox, $1,500. A 1968 Star Trek lunchbox went for $1,500. 55 Lone Ranger Red Band lunchbox, $1,250. 1954 Howdy Doody lunchbox, $1,700. And 1959, I have no idea what this is. Knights in Armor was $1,750 as well. So yeah.
And all those are pre-us in a way, if you think about it.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Because I would have thought I thought they'd still be mostly in the brown sack lunch group back in the 50s.
No, I'm sure that was one of the first ones. Let's see. I'll look that up. First metal lunchbox. Let's see if they.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Metal lunchbox history. I don't want to. Let's see. The first metal lunchbox was the Hopalong Cassidy, completed by the Aladdin Company in Nashville in 1950. The Aladdin Company. Hopalong Cassidy.
If you think about it, because my father was born in 49, so holy geez, that's
the first lithograph metal lunchbox was in 1953, Roy Rogers. And then
Westerns.
Yep. And that was the American Thermos Company that did that. And then the other group, the Aladdin Company, changed their lunchboxes to being fully lithographed instead of using decals in 1954. So,
wow.
Oh, here you go. Metal lunchboxes were banned in the early 1970s as a result of a campaign of concerned Florida mothers against steel lunchboxes. Children being children, they were using metal lunchboxes as a type of weapon. Of course they were. Cases of permanent head injuries were being reported. The state of Florida banned the sales of metal lunchboxes in 1972, and other states soon followed. The last steel metal lunchbox was a Sylvester Stallone's Rambo model, produced in 1985.
Okay. because now that you mention that,
Florida being the ones to ban it, that's so un-Florida like.
Right? Things change. No, once you said that, I started to think back. Not that I recall any, but I remember the plastic ones. They were like the split clamshell on an angle.
Yeah.
Same, but yeah, I was like, oh yeah, that's right. But I just remember the metal ones. Like,
of course, because we
were
weren't
the
in
good
Florida,
ones.
we were in Virginia, so they weren't banned.
We weren't
we were
Florida.
using them as weapons.
Well, you would think in Florida, if you had to beat off an alligator, you would want the metal lunchbox.
Of course. What are you gonna run away from a gator and hit him with a plastic lunchbox? It's not gonna work. It's not gonna care. We'd be remiss if we didn't mention Ben Jones.
Oh, yeah.
People may not recognize that name. You go, wait a minute, who's Ben Jones? It's a pretty common name, I would imagine. Ben and Jones. You would know him better as Cooter from the Dukes of Hazzard.
Cooter Davenport. Crazy Cooter.
I didn't know that his last name was Davenport until I looked at his wiki page right before we started filming here today. I had no idea. Would you have known that?
Yes, I knew that. Cooter Davenport.
Okay. All right. Well, good for you. I had no idea. I mean, I don't even know what's Boss Hogg's last name? I guess his last name is Hogg.
Yeah.
I guess his last name is Hogg. What's his first name? I don't remember.
All right.
I mean, I know it's Roscoe Coltrane.
Roscoe P. Coltrane.
Right, but I don't remember what Boss Hogg's
He just
first
died
name
the
is.
past year, I think, as well.
Yeah, well, we're getting to that point. As I tell a lot of my friends now, we don't go to weddings anymore. We're just going to funerals.
Funerals, right?
So,
because Ben Jones was older than most of them.
Well, yeah, Tom Wopat's still around.
Yeah.
John
in their 60s.
Yeah, I mean, wasn't John Schneider, wasn't that
John
one of them?
Schneider was Bo, Tom Wopat was Luke, and of
Until
course, Catherine Bach was Daisy.
Catherine Bach, yep. But yeah, so Ben Jones passed away within the last week or so. I think it was, would you say August 9th, August 10th?
Yep.
So it's funny because I was just within the last 2 years. It was probably 2020. It would have been 2024. Because we were down there. It was the same week that Trump got shot at when he was in Butler, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
We were down at the Shenandoah at one of these campsites, whatever, right around the corner from Cooters place, where he had all his county store or country store, I should say, and they had one of the Chargers that was all made up like the Dukes of Hazzard car. They had one of the police cars that Roscoe drove, and he had a whole thing there. It was the Dukes of Hazzard Museum there in Sperryville, Virginia. Yep. And I had never been there before, and we went by there a couple years ago, and I was like, "This is unbelievable."
It's America.
That was the best way to put it. It was unbelievable.
Well, for those that don't know, we have a little insight because Ben Jones lived in Virginia. That's why
for a long time.
It was there in Sperryville.
It's pronounced Sperryville, Gary.
Sperryville.
The
only other places were Luray, Nashville, and Pigeon Forge. So for those of you not in those areas, you're going, what? There's a Dukes of Hazzard? Yes, there was a Dukes of Hazzard mini store, museum, whatever you call it. I have pictures from the one in Pigeon Forge with us sitting in the General Lee. It was just a thing. A lot of people are always there and interested. So that's why it stands out for us more than it may for some of you out there. If you're in Arizona going, Dukes of Hazzard Museum, what the heck is that? Well, I don't know. South over here. You think it'd be in Georgia where it was supposedly taking place, but not. But yeah, Nashville, Pigeon Forge, Luray, Sperryville. So.
Luray, yep. And then Sperryville.
And he'd served in Congress and he had done some other things. So that's, again, why he's a little probably better known to us on this show than some of you out there watching.
Yeah, he won twice in Georgia, and then he moved. He won twice, so he spent 4 years in Congress as a congressman from Georgia. Then he moved to Virginia and lost his one run that he did once he moved. I think he was living in Washington, Virginia. I think he lost the one race that he did, and then he never got back into politics. He just had the Dukes of Hazzard Museum there and everything. And they did live music. I mean, like even the Saturday afternoon that I was there was somebody there setting up and doing live music. I'm like, they got a whole thing. And it was packed.
Yes.
It was like a Friday afternoon. And I mean, it was packed in that place. I was like, I can't believe there are this many people here to come to Cooters. I was like, all right. I mean, whatever works.
Well, my understanding is that one was a little bit different because he would make appearances and it was a little bit more local home eat live music. Where I know the one in Pigeon Forge is really just a store, so you could buy stuff. So it didn't quite have that gathering place feel to it like the one in
this they had a whole stage. They had a bunch of cars, not only from the Dukes of Hazzard, but other like collectible and old cars. They had like a whole museum area off to the side of the thing. I had pictures of it when we went. I don't know what I did with them. They were probably on my phone. I probably deleted them. But yeah, I mean, it was cool. I didn't buy anything because in this day and age, I don't think people are going to be very happy with you if you're running around with a Dukes of Hazzard shirt on.
Well, heck, they can't even show the TV show anymore. So.
I know. Which the funny thing is, he ran and won, Ben Jones, not Cooter. But Ben Jones, the 2 times he won, he ran and won as a Democrat.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he lost in Virginia, he had run as a Democrat. And then even with all that, when all that backlash came against the Confederate flag and everything else, he was one of the few Democrats on that side that was like, hey, this is dumb. Like, you're not solving any problems by taking the Confederate flag off the General Lee. Like, it is what it is. And reasonable. Like, that happened. That was the thing. There's no reason to pretend that wasn't a thing for whatever reason. Learn from it. Don't whitewash it and pretend it never happened.
Yeah. And the show was never about anything even remotely related to anything that could be, as far as I'm concerned, construed as offensive. It was just the flag was on the car and the car was called General Lee. That was it.
Yeah. I mean, because again, there's a bunch of Hollywood people going, what would a bunch of rednecks in the South do? Well, they'd probably have an old Dodge Charger. They'd probably put a Confederate flag on the top of it. All right, go with that. That's good. Again, there's a bunch of people sitting around a boardroom and went, yes, that's what we need. That's what we're going to do.
If they reboot it again and try to do it, I'm sure the police cars will be called the General Grants, and then we'll have that play out, right? That's what we'll do to make the story work for the modern times. So,
last thing before we get out of here, because we've reached the hour. Unless you have more stuff for me.
No, we kind of covered it. I mean, I was going to talk tennis shoes, but we didn't get that far. So.
Well, that was one of the things that you would get.
Purchase.
I mean, you'd get your lunchbox, your Trapper Keeper, but the most important thing was, of course, getting the tennis shoes.
Mm-hmm. Especially the Nikes.
Of course.
And it was all about, we can't let them get dirty too soon, right? At least I did. Like, oh shit, there's a mark. I got to wipe it off. We can't have them broken in too soon, looking too bad. Right. Come, December, like, whatever. I walked in the mud puddle. Yeah,
I mean, you wouldn't want the creases in them. The first couple of weeks, you got to make sure of that. But yeah, it was usually Nike, and then there was like a year or so where it was like, okay, Reebok kind of showed up, and you would get Reeboks. But yeah, I think all I had pretty much through school. I was just talking with somebody about this the other day that I had, and this would have been 7th or 8th grade. So 80, 40, I guess, 7th grade probably. And I wish I had kept them. I had an original, like the first year they came out, Carolina blue Air Jordans.
Oh,
like the
nice.
First ones that they ever did. They came in red and black, and then they had the Carolina blue one. And I was a big Carolina fan back then, more so than I was even like a Jordan fan, or definitely not a Bulls fan. So I was like, I'll get those in Carolina blue. And I had them things for the entire year. I wore them constantly. And then my mom was like, these things are ragged. And I'm sure that's why I ended up throwing them out. But I was like, even dogged out right now, those things would be worth a ton of money.
Yeah.
So I wish I had left them.
I had Chuck Taylors for 1 or 2 years.
I did too.
I like Nike. I never had Air Jordans. I just like Nikes.
Yeah,
they
of course.
fit well, and the way they looked from the side. So it was always Nike for me. And it wasn't until, honestly, was it late? I probably never even really saw Adidas in my school. It wasn't until college where I saw the Adidas black soccer shoes. I called them, thinner sole and black with white. Yeah, those were not a thing when I was in high school. So
no, I don't remember Adidas. Yeah, it was Nike, and I had some Chuck Taylors. The Chucks were good hacky sack shoes because they weren't curved as much on the instep as like Nikes were. So if you knew you're going to be hanging out with your friends and playing some hacky sack, and that's making a comeback, by the way, as well, then you throw your Chucks on because it had a flatter instep, so you could control the hack a little bit better.
Nice.
Yeah. See, there's some method to the madness and all this stuff. So yeah, absolutely.
So the hacky sack is back, huh?
The hacky sack.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, the hacky sack. Apparently, I saw. I forget which team it was. There was a baseball team where the guys were all out in the outfield playing hacky sack, and it's like it's back now. It's like a whole thing. It's I don't know, relaxation tool or something. I don't know. No. I was a decent hacky sack guy back in the day.
All right,
I could hack a little bit. catch it on the back of your neck. You pop it up in the air and then catch it on your neck and then flip it back up again. Yeah.
Well, Bill, if you decide to show us, you can take that camera wide angle and it will follow you as you do
it would.
in
Unfortunately,
your studio there.
I neither have my Chuck Taylors anymore or a hacky sack.
Okay.
So, and I remember when it was big, I had like 3 or 4 of them. It doesn't sound like a lot, but how many people had just 3 or 4 hacky sacks sitting up on their shelf going, I think we'll go red and blue today, and then take that one and stuff in your pocket.
Did the filling make a difference? So like, there were extra tricks. So I want the chia seed.
Well, there were definitely better hacky sacks than others. That's just like anything. They're better basketballs than others. So yeah, you wouldn't take like your really nice hacky sack if it was going to be like, raining outside or, if you're playing with people that I don't want this thing hitting the ground constantly. So you wouldn't take the good one. So yeah, absolutely. You had, there were some that were better than others.
Okay.
So
I've been educated now.
I'll look next time. And I don't know when the next time I'm going to be at a store to see if I can find, but next time I'm at Walmart, I'll look and see if there's a hacky sack there. And then maybe I'll start hacking the sack again. We'll see.
Yeah,
we will see. All right. Anything else before we get out of here? Do you have any final words for us?
I just want to say, we spent our childhood wishing summer never ended, and now as adults, we're wondering where they all went.
This concludes this episode of Gen X Men with Bill Rowland and Gary Dollarhite. Gen X Men is now off the air.